Welcome to A Barrel Full of Arseholes.
Frenemy, and they have a new podcast which launches tomorrow. Does it mark the end of this bitter political divide?
First up, we have creepy George Osborne, who's risen from the sewer to do a podcast with attention-seeking Ed Balls.
A couple of the things which you were criticised for, objective medical assessment for the disability living allowance, various reforms to housing benefit, tax credits, freezing rates of child benefit, a 2-year pay freeze for public sector workers, housing benefit reduced, income level for family tax credits changed, and some people would say long-term impact, for instance, on the NHS, schools. We've just had the concrete ceiling crisis, which is now ongoing, blamed on your austerity budget. Well, are there ever moments where you look back and go, I just cut people to the quick?
No, because, look, I'm not saying we got everything right, but...
Yuck! Horrible man! Next comes Australian CEO Tim Gurner, who's already known for his controversial comments on millennials and smashed avocado.
When I was trying to buy my first home, I wasn't buying smashed avocados for $19 and 4 coffees at $4 each.
So you reckon that's real, that people actually, young people, actually end up just spending their money and then whinge about the fact they can't get into the property market?
Oh, there's no question it's real.
Recently, he said this.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have... People decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40-50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment to get that to some sort of normality. And we're seeing it. I think every employer now is seeing it. I mean, there is definitely massive layoffs going off. People might not be talking about it, but people are definitely laying people off, and we're starting to see less arrogance in the employment market, and that has to continue because that will cascade across the cost balance.
Disgusting individual. Finally, we have this. Republican Senator John Kennedy, at a committee meeting on book banning, made the unfortunate decision to read some extracts from books that they're hoping to ban.
Let's take 2 books that have been much discussed. The first one is called All Boys Aren't Blue, and I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees, and I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. Close quote. All Boys Aren't Blue. The second is another much discussed book. I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's called Genderqueer. Okay. Let me read an excerpt from that. Quote, I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me. End quote. Now, Mr. Secretary, what are you asking us to do? Are you suggesting that only librarians should decide whether the 2 books that I just referenced should be available to kids?
Click here if you want to know why Brexit Britain is like Tom and Jerry.